Tokyo is a city locked in a perpetual cycle of destruction and rebirth. For centuries, its physical history has been relentlessly erased by earthquakes, fires, and urban expansion. During the Second World War, vast swaths of the city were reduced to ash. The dense, wooden neighborhoods of Old Edo and early modern Tokyo were nearly wiped off the map. The buildings that managed to survive the bombings soon faced another threat. During Japan's period of rapid post-war economic growth, massive infrastructure projects and towering high-rises paved over the few remaining pockets of the historic cityscape. Finding a cohesive physical map of the city's past now requires looking beyond the dense layers of the modern center. To touch the tangible history of Tokyo, you have to leave the metropolis itself. Tucked away in the western suburbs, within the lush, tranquil grounds of Kogane Park, lies the Edo-Tokyo Open-Air Architectural Museum. It is a 7-hectare sanctuary dedicated to the structures the city left behind. Saving these structures required a massive logistical undertaking. Dozens of buildings were documented, severed from their original foundations, and transported fully intact across the prefecture to be reconstructed here. The curators extended this preservation to the interiors, populating them with period-accurate artifacts, furniture, and the everyday tools used by the original inhabitants. The goal is to avoid trapping artifacts behind glass cases. The museum has instead created a 3-dimensional, fully explorable microcosm of a historic society that has otherwise vanished. This effort to capture history at a human scale includes the spaces occupied by the nation's most powerful figures, like Korekiyo Takahashi, a pivotal politician spanning the Meiji and Showa eras. His former residence, originally located in Akasaka, presents a serene, imposing facade anchored by a prominent gabled entrance. This diagram reveals the Makabizukuri wall structure. Wooden pillars are intentionally left exposed outside the plaster, creating a distinct visual rhythm. The framework relies entirely on rare hemlock fir. Utilizing it for load-bearing elements was a major expense, signaling Takahashi's vast financial reach. Yet, this serene environment masks a dark historical reality. The quiet study and bedroom on the second floor served as the exact site of his assassination during the bloody February 26 coup d'etat in 1936. The physical space holds these two realities together, the refined aesthetic of the era and the abrupt political violence that took place within it. Moving to the west zone of the museum, the polished wood of the political elite gives way to the utilitarian survival required in agrarian life. This mid-Edo period farmhouse belonged to the Tsunoshima family. The engineering here is heavy and functional. Thick central pillars dominate the interior, designed to shoulder the immense weight of the thatched roof and withstand heavy winds and earthquakes. At the center of this structural core sits the hearth. It provided warmth and a place to cook, but it also served a vital engineering function. The continuous fire sent thick white smoke billowing upwards into the rafters. This daily process fumigated the thatch against insects and chemically darkened the massive wooden ceiling beams, hardening them over decades. Agrarian architecture was an active, living tool. It required continuous labor, fire, and smoke to maintain its strength against the elements. A stark contrast to the sprawling farms can be found in the East Zone, which reconstructs the dense energy of a working-class Shitamachi neighborhood. Buildings here were built for commerce and resilience. The Kaguya Bar, an unassuming 2-story wooden structure, was erected in 1856. It survived major earthquakes and the fire bombings of the Second World War, serving drinks to locals all the way until 1970. Just down the street sits the Takei Sanshodo stationery store. Squeezed tightly into its block, the narrow building commands attention with a striking, tile-covered facade, typical of early Showa period commercial design. Inside, every inch of space is optimized for commerce. An entire wall is densely packed from floor to ceiling with paulownia wood drawers, a solution for storing large quantities of calligraphy brushes and ink in a small footprint. The compressed spatial design and evocative atmosphere of this specific room were so striking that Studio Ghibli animators used it as a direct source of inspiration for the background art in Spirited Away. The working-class architecture of the Shitamachi prioritized spatial efficiency and durability. These tightly packed structures were the literal engines of daily commercial life in the city. Preserving historical architecture carries an inherent risk. Without the people who originally inhabited them, relocated buildings can easily feel like sterile, hollow monuments devoid of their original context. To combat this, the museum relies on ongoing human labor. Traditional craftspeople frequently work on site, using specialized chisels and period-accurate tools to repair and maintain the aging wood. This philosophy extends to the daily atmosphere. Volunteers regularly light the old furnaces and hearths, filling the rooms with the scent of wood smoke to keep the spaces feeling warm and currently lived in. By keeping the fires burning and the wood freshly cut, the museum protects our ability to cross a physical threshold into a world preserved at a human scale, a record of how the people of Tokyo lived and worked.